This episode of the Devinwade Show is brought to you by Just Like That Catering. Make sure you follow them on IG at Just Like That Catering. For more info, call 215-303-7795.
You gon' know what love is. If you gon' put up a fight, you gon' know what love is. If you gon' stay up all night crying, you gon' know what love is. If you told it a million times, and you say you know what love is, but I swear you never seen it in your life. Ooh.
This is not a box Chevy. This a pull a skirt. Go. Hold the cops ready. When ain't no bullets in your clip, stick is not heavy. Attach it to the stock steady. Need you there, you won't forgive me. Witness. She don't have no friends, but that hoe got a playlist in the bins. This illegal, don't skip off the van. Felon with possession of the end. I might roll the die for my life. It depends when it's so dirty. No one costs every dollar, so fuck it and bought it. Walk a burger window, sleep in the brand new apartment. Bring the force to 100 as soon as I started. I gave niggas weapons and they came home with 20K. One say he ain't know me, one folded on me, I was in a cage. They tried to hold me, tried to control me, cage and cuffs, not enough. I know the sounds when it's going down and I'm going way up.
Welcome to another episode of the Devinwade Show. I'm your DJ Chelsea Lee, and I'm gonna send you over to Choke Your Mom Out, Choke Your Pops Out, Mr. Dev fucking Nasty.
Yo, check it out. Listen, man, I don't know if that, I think that might have been Garnett's.
Oh, that's my shit, nigga. That's
single.
my shit. I don't even work out, but guess what that make me want to do?
Damn, nigga.
Not work out, but it gives me a whole lot of energy.
Well, look, man, check this out. I am DevNasty, a.k.a. Dangerous DevNasty, a.k.a. Choke Your Mom Out, a.k.a. Choke Your Pop Out. And I like the way Garnett Briscoe really, like, ever since Justin Bieber. Ever since Justin.
That's a crazy reference.
For real, ever since Biebs did the joint for motherfucking Champagne Poppy, you've been wanting to do that for somebody else's video, man.
I've been doing this my whole life, and you know that.
You know,
don't do that to me on here, man.
No. You was the first nigga that used to do the. How you used to do that? You used to do that Champagne Poppy like jump back thing that he used to do.
Oh, the Drake that he be like, or that's how he was. That was like.
The previous, like Skinny Drake.
Yeah, he just used to.
I feel like that's the sizzle and bacon dance.
What was this dance though? The running one. What was this?
I don't, like I said, it just make me want to work out in place though. I don't want to go nowhere, but in place. Like if it was a treadmill right here, I'm doing it for sure.
I don't like that dance. It reminds me of coming up in the hood. Like you remind me. You gave me flashbacks of getting chased. I seen you wiping sweat and you keep going.
Yeah, I was listening. I was just picture me at a track running around.
You look like you was fighting because it looked like somebody was holding you back. Like
I was holding myself back because I was about to jump through this camera. That shit got me hyped.
Well, shout out to Xavier Molly. That joint right there, love. That shit was fire. You're not him. You know what I'm saying? He's like some light skinned nigga. But y'all both got that hair. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like the curly top niggas.
Definitely high energy. I like how the record dropped. I like the little intro that it came in with and how it dropped. Nice drop.
Didn't expect it because it was real like slow and chilling and shit like that.
Brent,
next thing you
Brent
know,
vibes.
Next thing you know, nasty girl cheeks popping all over the place, man. But can we get a motherfucking call? Garnett Briscoe, we already know you're underwater ceramic technician. We already know that you're a dickhead. We already know that you're listen, nigga. Okay. We know that you're you're a dog, you're an animal colorist.
Get to the point.
You know all this shit. What is your new job this fucking week?
Man, listen, I've been doing a lot, man. I really been doing a lot. I'm an aerospace optometrist.
A what?
Aerospace optometrist.
What is that?
The fuck? It sound like you clean vents.
Yo, that's airspace. I get it.
What
I actually do the opposite.
What is this?
Eyeballs. What do you do?
So you're an optometrist, which is that's an eye doctor, right?
So yeah, it's basically I do eye exams, not necessarily an eye doctor, but I can perform eye exams on you.
I'm trying. It sounds like
so. Yes,
fucking
I'm
Transformers son.
No, Optimus Prime.
It's like his son.
I could be wrong and shit. They could be. Hold on. Ophthalmologist, optometrist, who knows?
Yeah. So I'm in the air. I'm in a eye care field.
Oh, so something.
But I do this in the air. Only in the air.
Only in the
For the people that's in the air.
Okay.
So when you're on a plane, you can like check my eyes?
Yeah, like that's what I'm there for. But I'm not on planes though. You gotta request me beforehand.
So do we pay for your flight?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Your resume is crazy.
So you get a free vacation.
Yeah, I mean, it's not free because I'm working.
Listen,
I like that.
I like that.
Fraud.
He's
the
a hustle
fraud.
is real.
Yeah, your resume looks crazy. It probably looks a little fraudish.
It's very like I've been doing this, bro.
Yeah, all right.
Believe you.
To the left of me, in all her motherfucking fashion glory, of course, at all times disrespecting the furniture of the studio.
She's gonna have to pay for this couch.
Listen.
Before it's all over,
Listen.
She's gonna owe you for the couch.
Listen.
The big square.
Hold on, man. Them feet might have been. I'm not sure about how them feet smell. Garnett, can you check them?
Hell no.
Oh, you don't want to check them now.
Listen,
That's
now.
crazy.
Listen.
Hold on. She said now. Wait. Hold on.
I'm afraid of my own feet. So I ain't sniffing nobody else's.
But
That's
she
just
said
me.
now though, like
That's
as if
crazy.
before.
It's
I mean, she listen. That's
Did you
because
do
that's because
something
she had
before?
too much Hennessy before this episode.
Oh, so she got it remembered wrong. No.
I remember right.
First of all, don't.
Wow.
Don't
Listen,
do that. Don't
freak
do
ball.
that.
What a nigga we know.
Just show your goddamn shoes
Shout
off.
out to Els who
Wow.
who was brave enough to come on to the show and suck some toes. You know what I'm saying? You know
Definitely did.
You know whose toes he sucked. You know what I'm saying? He was brave enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? But we have Waleska D. Wally Water Kingdom in the building, and she's all fashioned out. What's the shit you got on there? What the fuck?
I got my blazer that'll be coming out, spring 2021. You already know.
Damn.
That's one of your pieces.
Go cop
Yeah,
it.
this is mine.
Your blazer.
Yep,
Like
I
it.
created, picked out my own fabrics, my own trims. I designed it myself.
She done
cute.
showed
Very cute.
up and
Y'all
showed
thought I
out.
was playing when I say,
I like
I'm
it.
the fashionista. I do this.
Listen,
This is what I do.
This is the
for a
best
living.
business casual outfit I've ever seen in my life.
This is home 2020.
Necklace looking like $1 billion.
I've
I
never
don't
seen
know what the
anything
fuck
like
is
it.
going on.
And on one of the last episodes, I recall you saying like when you was young, this was your thing.
No, facts.
You
This
put
is
it
something
together
that
when you
I
didn't
always-
even have it.
At all.
Right.
So now we're in, it's COVID still. We ain't going nowhere. So you throw some sweatpants on. You got a nice little blazer. Throw a nice little shoe on.
She be
Get your
killing
hair
them.
laid. Shout out to my girl Sierra. Get your makeup laid. Shout out to my girl Kayla, my whole glam squad. They do the thing.
Okay. And I'm actually going to skip over this guy right now, and I'm going to go right to our DJ Chelsea Lee, who obviously does the intro.
DJ
You know what I'm
Chelsea
saying?
Lee.
But the fans were upset that Chelsea Lee robbed them last week. So before we start this motherfucking show off, Chelsea Lee, we're going to count down.
They
3,
put me
2,
on the
1.
spot.
You know what I'm saying? And we need a motherfucking moan from Mona Lisa, Mona Scott Young. We're not going to disappoint the people. 3,
Right.
2, 1.
Baby.
That baby crazy.
Look, Richie getting mad excited over here.
When she throw the baby, that is...
No. I'm just telling you when
Look,
something
Garnett
like
don't even know what to do.
when I can just relate
Y'all
to
are
it like it sounds
hilarious.
familiar.
What could you relate? Oh, it sounds familiar.
not like her.
Hold on.
Not like her.
Fix that
but-
shit.
Pause.
Hold on, she said, fix that shit.
Listen,
She's
man.
serious about this.
I got babies out there too, Chelsea.
I'm sorry. You got fired.
Oh my God. And then but that was DJ Chelsea Lee, aka Horny Park, who is also, in conjunction with Wally Water Kingdom.
Right.
Make sure you go check out the OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/I am Chelsea Lee. And of course, last but not least, we have the Thurman Street Pumper himself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He came here on his fashion shit, the sneaks, you know what I'm saying?
The hat.
You know what I'm saying? Matching with the hat all crazy. Y'all can't even see the footwear, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
He don't disrespect couches.
And
Nah,
I'm gonna
y'all
talk.
can't trick me. I know why he made me laugh.
Listen, I know this.
It got nothing to do with my sneakers.
It don't got nothing to do with that.
The fuck you think you talking to?
Listen, he knows why I made him last because I'm gonna put him on
I
blast.
got a joke.
Listen. I made him last because I gotta put him on blast.
guy
Now,
got a joke.
a little bit, before the show, sometimes the cast members like to get right. You know what I'm saying? Might like to have a little drink. Might like to have a little smoke. And everybody was outside smoking. Not me though, because
not me neither.
Hold up, not me because I say no to drugs. But my friends here partake in weed. And you know, they was outside smoking and everything was cool.
Don't give a
it's a
fuck.
little cipher with the ladies. We got the ladies out there. And once the ladies left, and the weed continued to be smoked, all of a sudden there was a sound of
It was my ad lib that I do here.
Well, he's the ass ad libber because this nigga let loose a crazy joint, and I was like, wait a minute.
He cracked his waffle something crazy, son.
All right, at least I waited for the ladies to leave. I waited for the beautiful ladies to leave before.
Thank you.
No,
I didn't hear
listen,
it. Thank you.
Exactly. We were smoking. As soon as the beautiful ladies disappeared, I went machine gun smelling.
Wait.
Machine gun smelling. Listen.
What?
You had to let it out.
Here's the thing. So I'm thinking,
I ain't got no problem letting it out though in front of
but the thing
my
is,
baby.
It was like he had
baby?
that. He had
Any baby. If I ever got a baby, like that's my baby, like a female. Like, come on, I'm going machine gun smelling.
but the nigga, it just seemed like. It just seemed like he had that joint
in him all day.
Like he had it, he was holding on to it for so long because as soon as Chelsea and Sin, soon as they walked out and went into that main studio room, it was just
no, it started off slow.
Yo,
That was just like so.
Y'all laughing, but it's religious books and like God and things of that nature that talk about holding on to things and how you
gotta let it go.
You supposed to let go. Like, what is this?
Hey, Dad,
I don't really
you
know.
ain't shit
Listen,
but say
I ain't
that.
gonna hold you.
Biblical,
I'll
son.
never listen.
He said it's biblical.
Listen, and not even that. Not even to go religiously. Let's talk about like relationship wise. I'm not even gonna be able to trust my baby if she don't like. You gotta fart around me. Where you going?
because that's what I want to.
You gotta get out the room for a fart.
So that's what I want to get to is does every out of the people here on the cast, even our nasty girls, I want to ask, do you fart in front of your significant other?
Listen, since I had the floor, let me just finish. Again, for
thought he was gonna let one loose.
No. Listen, I'm not gassed up like that. But listen, my partner that I'm like special with, that's like a certain boundary, right? That you can like do. You're at a certain level when you, to me, in my relationships that I have and that I, would want in the future, like. That's like a certain boundary that when we get there, like, come on, you ain't got to get out the room to fart. You got to get out the room to fart. For real, a little bit of wind. A little
shit wind.
I was going to say yes.
Listen, because you got to understand that farting is having shit in your hand and blowing a kiss over.
But I think a fart.
That's a crazy analogy.
But it's true.
That's crazy. A kiss and a blow? That's wild.
I think the moment y'all get comfortable with like farting around that man and just letting him know like you not perfect, you stink too. Like you're gonna go so much further. It's gonna be like so much like better.
It takes me a little bit before I even get that comfortable. But like to even if I am gonna fart and I know like yo, this one's about to be like crazy.
So what tells you that your joint is about to be?
You just feel it depending on what you ate. Like if you know you ate some bullshit that day that you shouldn't have ate. You know, like, if I fart, this shit gonna be rocking.
I tend to think that the vegan Jones and shit like that be having the worst fart.
No, you're more gassy when you're vegan.
I just feel like theirs stink more, like, period.
Facts,
like, when
facts.
the healthy chicks always...
And that shit like a bunch of beans.
Right, so you farting all fucking day. But, respectfully...
I can't drink.
If you're gonna fart... You get what I'm saying? You gotta let him know. I'm like, listen, babe, I gotta fart, but I'm gonna walk away. I'll rather like, not that I don't want to fart in front of you. I just want to spare you the scent.
But
shit.
Wally definitely steps off sneaky, cash. Like,
no. I'll be like, nah, babe, for real. I'll be like, nah, babe, like, let me step away because this shit, it ain't even right.
It's lethal.
Hey, Dad, what about? Has anybody ever experienced like you know, it's like you could feel that it's like going to be like a silent one, like it just
silent deadly.
I call it an air boy. It's just going to be an air boy where it's like a flat tire. Like you do one of them joints, right? And you thinking like, well, he ain't gonna hear this shit. But then it's a silent but deadly joint.
Yo.
Like the fumes from it, like kill everything.
Blew your damn drawers out.
I hope you did that shit in public. Cause you can blame it on somebody else, but if y'all in the same room, you be like, nah, nigga, you did that. He gonna be like, no, bitch,
so
you did that.
So how long it take you, Wally, in a relationship to get comfortable enough to where you like letting go? In
a relationship, at that point, like we're living together essentially. Yeah. So I mean, by the time you move in, I mean, we're in the same vicinity, and if I have to fart, I'm not gonna hold it. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let you know, and whatever.
So how long?
It depends on how long it takes for them to move in.
Oh, okay, so if once they move in,
so once they move in, you're fart. I'm farting, shitting, whatever.
Hold on, I don't even wait that. I don't even wait that long.
I'll be shitting before.
I can't.
Hold on, oh, so
I
you shit with the door open?
I think women fart in their sleep, like we have
do.
mentioned
I was
before.
gonna get to
so
that.
for me, I don't want to fart in front of a guy. And if I do, I'm gonna go off and be sneaky.
Yeah.
And then be like later, like, yeah, you don't want to go, and you don't want to go over there. I'll pull a pops, like, don't go in the bathroom or don't go in that area.
I'm gonna tell you, like,
15 minutes.
even with me and my girl, yo, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sparing her. My girl will not fart in front of me for nothing. She's gonna bounce. She's gonna dip. Like, she's not doing that. We not one of them couples that motherfucker like take shits with the door open and shit like that I've seen.
I think because you'll judge her.
Listen, I don't know.
Yes, you would.
That's not true.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy?
This is Devinwade.
No. You know what just came to my mind? That it's even crazier that they think, right? I'm gonna hold it all day, right?
Hell no.
And we're listen, and then at night, when we go to bed, I think it's even more disgusting that you wait at night because they do this and it's been happening. It's happened to me with certain females. Like, we're at night while you sleep. You farting and snoring crazy, like all this wild shit. And now you're not even up to say excuse me. You just
under the covers though,
That's
Richie.
why I'll walk off.
Under the covers.
Man, disrespectful.
First time, listen.
I'm looking at you like, man, I'm about to wake her the fuck up.
Listen, first time, no, wake her up, nigga. No, listen. My girl, the first time farted in her sleep, you know what I mean? And the thing is, you know, like niggas like to lay on the ass, you know what I'm saying? That's just a thing that niggas like to do. So I'm pretty much laid up on the ass. We knocked out next thing you know. You know what I'm saying?
Lit you up.
Listen, and the craziest part is sometimes, like my girl, when she wake up, she got an attitude at any time. My girl will do some shit like snore or fart. And when she do it, she wake herself up, but she mad at me. Yo, I'm telling you, it'll be like, she'll be sleeping and it'll be like, she's like, like turning around like, nigga, that was you, my nigga.
You woke yourself up.
You feel me? I'm fully up.
That's even worse.
You the one wilding in your sleep.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
You should just let it go though. Like after a certain point, just let it go. Once you move
No, but
in,
like I feel like when you in the bed, like, and this happened to me, like you're in the bed.
not in the bed. That's gross.
When you sleep,
If you can help it.
you're sleeping and you fart, and that fart wakes you up, and you know you farted. You look over
And to make sure that they don't know. Now that's happened to me.
Yo, I was like,
my girl slept right through it, and I'm like,
man,
all right,
listen,
bet.
let's be honest. Let's be honest. Women don't like fart, and they not going like really like own up to take accountability for farting. Because some women don't even like the coochie farting. You could be hitting the you could be hitting
farting is the best thing.
Nah, but some women will be like,
Listen,
listen, on some G shit though. Listen, on some G shit, I've had women be like, stop, like with that noise, I'm talking about.
That's real.
I've had women be like, yo, stop, because you know how to deliberately,
What's the sound effect?
Look.
That shit be going.
You know how to deliberately make it fart, and she like, can you stop?
You know, it's a funny feeling for us though. The air, that air shit, that shit's crazy. That feeling is crazy. That's a crazy ass feeling. You be like, what the fuck?
But she fuck with
it's good, but it's a crazy.
The way you be talking about
I'm
sex,
telling you, a lot of that come from the
I feel like it's too much air. You doing too much.
No.
I don't like if it does that too often. I'm just like,
that's from stabbing all the way in and all the way out. Because
You
niggas
put
want, like
air.
I said, you want to feel that
The extendo.
Yeah, I mean, you like this. Wait,
you like a bungee cord.
You like stop putting all that air in there.
Well, it's because they trying to be extra, like what Dad said. They trying to go in and go all the way out. You come out the vagina. Like,
Bungee boys, we coming all the way out.
If it's right, I don't think you should be doing that. If it's right, if it's like right, good, smooth, you shouldn't be.
You just gotta understand that niggas love the insertion. We reliving it. We
doing that for y'all. You act like we doing it for us.
Now y'all doing it for y'all.
We doing it for us too.
No,
the insertion, dog.
Yes, but that's still a thing where like
it's an insertion, dog.
I'm trying to pleasure her, right?
Listen,
you're definitely trying to pleasure her.
The funny part is what Wally said is true though, because some women definitely like it. I didn't like you done had both experience. Some women be like, some women get to talking that shit. They be like, that's that mac and cheese.
Richie crazy.
No.
Lit it up.
I'll be like, you drunk.
That sound like an air balloon.
I'm like, yo,
that's no mac and cheese. Ain't nothing wet about it. Ain't nothing wet about it.
It's like a whoopee cushion joint. Yeah,
nah,
like
it
that.
is. Nah, it be sometimes, not for nothing, your vagina is so wet that when you... Let me not. I'm gonna just stop.
Go ahead, go ahead. I got one to add on it. Go ahead. Go ahead, get some add on it. Go ahead.
Listen, people at home tuned to fucking like.
Go ahead.
How wet is it?
Go ahead.
Niggas wait a minute.
You really want to go there?
Niggas
you really want to go there?
Niggas laptop can't go loud enough. Niggas is turning the volume.
Go ahead, because I want to add on it. I got a joke.
I almost took my headphones off.
I got a joke. Go ahead. I want to add on it. How wet do y'all get? Go ahead. How wet? Because I got to add on that.
I got to hear this in real life.
It gets so wet.
What you say?
He took his headphones off because he said he wanted to hear it raw to the ears, nigga.
Come on.
He said these headphones is condoms at this point.
Let's go. Start that sentence over again.
Action. We
no, what I was saying was, when it gets really, really wet, it does make sounds. So, like, especially with that extra air, it just does extra shit on its own. So we don't have control of the sound effects of the vagina when it's super wet. Making all the farting noise. I'm like, fuck it, that shit working. Hey, it's wet. We gotta keep it going.
But see, I had a situation.
Hold on, where her splash?
I ain't mad at you.
Hold on.
No, we had to drop a bomb on that.
That's the problem.
What's the problem?
That sometimes y'all it gets so wet, I guess. And so uncontrollably wet that you don't know what's going on. You just like, hey, we wet. And I think I had a situation like that where a female, like, it got so wet and it got like beyond wet.
There's no such thing.
No, listen.
What's like, beyond wet?
Like the sheet, like way more than like regular.
And I'm like, just be looking like soap suds.
No,
like
listen.
Fucking shampoo.
No, listen. I was like, no, this girl had got drunk this time, and I was like, what the fuck?
She
like,
peed the bed.
She peed the bed.
Oh, see, that's different.
And I was like,
story
no, listen,
turn left, nigga.
No. Please excuse me for sharing my real life. But this girl peed the bed, right? And I was like, well, wow, because this is extremely. I'm like, this is.
But she didn't pee the bed because essentially they said you can't pee while
and
you're having sex.
And it was mixed.
Yeah.
It was like a mixture of her.
It was like a mixture of a squirt and a.
But I asked her. I said, hey, like,
can you do that again?
No.
Garnett is intrigued.
Listen, I'll never forget this story.
Richie's the only one experiencing this shit.
I'll never forget this story. I said, but hold on, this was extreme. I said, it's a lot, dear.
You told her buy your new sheets?
No, I asked her, I said, what happened? What is this? And she was like, she was drunk and we was drinking and she was like, this is around with Jay-Z and this whole movement just dropped. And she was like, I told you. She was like, you got to let the belly flow.
No, she didn't.
Off the belly?
I'm done, yo.
Yo, come on, man.
Listen, real life.
Yeah.
Listen, my life ain't to be laughed at, but sometimes you could go ahead and like chime in. But no bullshit. I don't say no names. I don't say nothing but like real shit. And I know some females out there, some ladies out there, don't be ashamed. You've gotten drunk.
Nah, it happens.
To that point, because I know some of my guys that then got drunk to the point where they was in a female room and started pissing in the corner.
No.
Now you can be fucked down.
Pissy drunk niggas,
you can be fucked
man.
down. But I know what he's talking about with the piss shit. That happened to me before, but you know what I'm saying? It wasn't
And it's
as
not
bad,
for everybody, but this is like excessively drinking.
Yeah.
when you like drink and you know you could get fucked up to the point where you don't even know what
you
the
don't
fuck
have
is
no
going on.
inhibition, so you just
like
do
Wally
anything.
just said. She, you know, I'm not saying you pissed. I'm not saying you pissed, but I'm just saying it was so wet, like you said.
But that's natural.
And not even that, but the mood. You probably was just letting it all flow. You let your belly flow.
Let it flow.
You let the belly flow.
Let your belly flow.
I wasn't on belly, but
Let your belly flow is just wild. You know what I'm saying?
that's a hashtag.
Yeah, that's kind of
And
scary.
listen, my stories is from when I was young, man.
Yeah.
Young shit. I was young, teenage years, and crazy shit.
No, my stories is from
Wild shit.
20s, 30s, all types of shit. But I want to talk about something. I want to talk about scariest moment of your life.
I would think for me it would be like in 2012. I had a crazy car accident, right? I was driving. It was like a Honda Accord four-door. I'm driving down the Atlantic City Expressway. We was actually on our way to a club, but one of my homegirls couldn't get in. She had a fake ID at the time. She couldn't get in. She didn't match the height on the ID, so they kind of like turned us around. We didn't drink. We weren't doing anything. So we're driving back. I'm driving. The car in front of me, it must have been something in the road, so that car in front of me kind of like was able to swerve around it, and I was like approaching the object, and I just had to like kind of like react to the object kind of quicker. So once I reacted to the object, the car just like lost control. So in that moment, I legit like I looked at the person next to it was like one of my friends. I looked at her, and then I just looked at like in front of me, and the car just was like spinning, and I just all I said, I was like, you know what, this is just how I'm gonna go out. Like, I'm just gonna have to take it. So I kind of like squeezed really tight on the steering wheel. Thankfully, we all had our seatbelts on, but like I squeezed on the wheel like really, really like hard. And then like the car was like turning. It flipped over, and then it hit the tree. It was like boom. So we was like sideways like this on the tree. And I woke up because like the airbag like busted my lip. And it kind of, that's what woke me up, because I was just already like, you know what?
Was it slow? It was slow motion?
It was slow motion.
I experienced that in a car accident
It happened
so
slow that it ended so fast. Like, it's just weird to explain.
Did you kind of like see the car, like see the collision about to happen, and you kind of like try to tense up for it?
That's basically what I did, because I already seen that once the car started flipping, I just kind of like tensed my body up for whatever was about to happen. And that's when the tree stopped the whole car. And that's kind of like what saved my life for real. And that was it. And then from what they told me, I was like screaming and telling them to get out the car. So they all got out the car. I was still stuck in the car because the seatbelt didn't let me get out. So I'm like stuck in the car. So, you know, at that moment, like your instinct is just to kind of like hurry up, try to get out. So by the time they got out, I got out, and we walked out the back window. Like I took my shoes off, and I kind of like walked out. And thankfully I'm here today. But like my life, I literally saw my life go like this in seconds. That's probably like the most scariest.
Thank God, man. You know what I'm saying? Thank God you're here. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
The water park is still open.
It's starting to.
Listen, I'm just saying, man, it's still open, man.
Facts.
What about you, Rich?
What we already know from just certain shit. I had a lot of close to death experiences, a bunch of them.
Yeah, you could name just one. It don't got to be
I'm only gonna go
here.
with one. Yeah, I'm only gonna go with one. I think my craziest time were like when the shit just went down, and I just knew I wasn't going to survive it. I thought it was Gary get like really like crazy. I knew it was Gary get crazy, and it did get crazy. And I just didn't see myself making it out, and I did. You know what I mean? Thank God. But was one night we was out at Gotham nightclub. Rest in peace to my homie Gerald. My homie Jerry D, we was out, and we was just partying, regular night out, and things had went. I didn't see my homie for a minute. I didn't know where my homie was at, and I was looking for him. And we had like the same sneaks on, and that's kind of like how I recognized him, because we had just bought these Air Maxes. You know how you'll tell your homie like, yo, they just dropped the joints, and everybody go grab whatever. Like we had just grabbed these joints, and that's how I found him. Like I actually seen his feet like in the air out of one of the exit doors of the side of Gotham. This was on Thursday night, ladies' night. This was right when AI got drafted to the Sixers. Like, shout to AI. I remember one night he was in there with the fatigues all on, all crazy, because we used to go there a lot. And yeah, my dog, I was looking for him, like, where the fuck my dog at? And then I finally see the sneakers like dangling in the air. Like, what the fuck? So instantly, you know, I make a move and I head for outside. It was an exit door where they was like right outside the exit door on the concrete, on the steps. And I go out the exit door and you know, it was like 2 bouncers that had him. And I was just like, yo, what the fuck is y'all doing? You know, I'm pushing 1 bouncer off of him. And they like, yo, they talking to me like, yo, this your man. They had him in like a chokehold. And I was just like, yeah, this is my fucking brother, man. What the fuck? And they like, oh, take your man then. Your man drunk. Take your man. So instantly they let my brother go. And my brother tapped me. He like, come on. He like, just come on. And I'm, you know, he was my older brother. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, we out then. You know what I mean? I got him loose. We out. And when we got to the motherfucking car, I just remember my brother just like, yo, hold on. You know, it's going to check, I guess, get somebody. I don't know what. But all I know is like 1,000. All I know is my brother came back running with like 1,000 people chasing him. And he landed in the driver's seat. I was in the driver's seat, and he jumped like on my lap, like damn near, like trying to throw the car in gear, like go, 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 go. I'm thinking we getting killed. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Just happened, like, cause it all happened so quick. From me breaking him up to the bouncers, to getting to the car, to him getting back out the car. You know, I don't know what the fuck happened, and everybody came running back. Like a lot of people came running back chasing my dog. He trying to throw the car in gear. Next thing you know, I got people in front of me with guns pointed at me like, stop the fucking car. These motherfuckers they not cops. You know, they was cops undercover. Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay. So I nail him. I hit him. I'm trying to get the fuck out of there. He like, oh, freeze, this and that. I hit the nigga. Boom! I throw it in reverse. I hit another car. Boom, boom! We in the parking lot. I'm not out on the street. If I was out on the street, I would have shook loose. But we in a tight-ass parking lot. Gotham, ladies' night, Thursday nights. Everybody know what that is. And finally, they getting us out the car, you know, and these is cops, come to find out. And they saying like, oh, y'all just shot 3 motherfuckers. They like, y'all shot 2 of my soldiers. This what the cops saying, all this crazy shit. And from that situation to me thinking like I'm about to get shot, guns pointed at me, all kinds of crazy shit, to later being in a cell, 3 people got shot, to me thinking I'm about to be gone for the rest of my life. Just the whole scenario. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, every element of it. The first part, me thinking I could die in this situation when it was actually going down, to me later in a cell, and these cops are trying to say that me and my homie shot 3 people, including 2 security guards, and a female who was from Jersey, who was from Camden. Shout out to her, me and her good, you know, we good people, good person. And yeah, it was just one of the scariest. They told me, they was like, cause they tried to get me, I guess, to tell them that we had guns and that we came with guns and that, you know, that's all they really wanted me to say. Right. And then they was going to try to that way they could relate it to y'all did that crime. Right, put the rest on my man. They was really trying to put it on my man. And they was trying to tell me like, look, we know you ain't do nothing. You're just with them. It was like, we just need to know that y'all brung guns. And I'm just like, man, y'all got us all fucked up. That's my friend. He is shooting. We don't do shootings. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, y'all got us fucked up. But the whole situation was fucked up because they like, yo, we was really like, I thought we was facing like 30, 35 years. And the only thing that gave me hope, and that's why I love Philly, and like just I'll shout out Philly and just Philly forever because I always been over Philly forever. Just got so much history with Philly. But even their bells was so cheap. Like the system that they have in place, I don't know if it's still the same, but for a long time, bells, even for like a murder, nigga, like something crazy, your bell is like affordable. So that was the only thing that gave me hope. That they were saying like, yo, no, really, because they were saying like, yo, y'all facing no, because listen, you got to understand the scenario, the situation. They was like, yo, it was like about 24 charges because 4 people filed charges. The 3 people that got shot and the cop I hit with the car. So it was all these charges from these different people. You know what I'm saying? And they was basically like going like, finish us. We was facing 30, but then they came with the bell, was like, but you can still get out with 2,800 tomorrow. And, oh yeah, that's crazy. And we was up, nigga. It was a great time for us. Oh yeah. When I went down and told my man, like, yo, because my man was in the cell, they separated us to try to get me to like say some bullshit. And I went back down to the cell and told my man, like, yo, they trying to say that we shot somebody. Yeah. Like, I don't know what the fuck they talking about, my nigga. And my man was down in the cell yelling back at me like, yo, don't worry about it. Stop. Like, don't even say nothing else to him. Fuck him. You'll be out in the morning. Your bill is $2,800. He was like, we'll both be out. He was like, I got to pay another bill. He was like, I got to pay another bill, then I'm going to pay this bill, and then we'll be out. So it was just like, but the whole real...
That's
like,
scary.
No, it was super scary. It was super... I was young. I was like 17 in that situation, in that scenario. I was 17 or just turned 18. We made the news. We was on the news, and I had my ID on me. My man was under alias. I ended up under my real shit because I had my ID on me. So it was crazy. Everybody back home was like, what the fuck did y'all do? Like, just crazy shit.
Shit. What about you, Garnett Briscoe?
Damn. Bear with me, man. I'm gonna try to use this time as therapy, right? So the scariest moment in my life actually happened to me. My dad ended up killing my mom when I was 8. I know some of y'all know this story, but once again, like I said, bear with me. And I grew up in a domestic violence household, and I'm good. I grew up in that household, so like that wasn't a thing like that was hidden. You know, like I seen that often, way more often than I should. And I always, you know, I just didn't want my mom to leave, at all. You know, that was a real fear of mine that I shouldn't have had as a child. And one day, that shit actually happened. It came true. And I remember that was the first time I heard a gunshot that close. And I say that because recently, this was probably like a week or two ago, I'm trying to go to sleep. And I lay down, and my mind is always racing. That's just me, always racing. And when I lay down, something in my head, I have a thought about when's the first time I ever heard a gunshot. And my mind quickly found the answer. But when it did, it replayed that moment. And I couldn't stop screaming and crying, bro. That shit hurt so bad. So bad. Like I said, I'm using this time as therapy. But excuse me.
No, you take your time, bro.
Do your thing. We here.
This is a safe space.
That was a real fear that I had as a child. And I ended up seeing it. And it destroyed a lot, bro. It destroyed a lot. My family's separated. It put a strain on a lot. My brother, who is the one person in this world I can always count on, man. Always. Shout out to my brother Karan. He is the last person on this earth that know me inside out, bro. That know me, how your sibling or how your parent would know you. And that was a person that was also ripped away from me during that time. Because me and him have separate dads. So, my dad doing this, he clearly goes to jail. But my brother was forced, to go live with his father because that was rough on my aunt, taking on a whole new shit. She already got kids of her own. She busting her ass. She doing her thing. And now she get 2 kids out of nowhere, Yeah. And that's responsibility that shouldn't be put on anybody. But that's what happened. That forced my brother to move all the way to Arizona. It's 3,000 miles away, bro. That's my heart. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the only things I got left, So, yeah, that's my moment. I don't think I got anything else to say.
Just being a kid and not being able to, obviously, there's no control over how you could travel, see them, all that kind of stuff, man. That, it don't get no, you know what I'm saying? Ain't much you could say, man. It don't get no
scarier
realer.
than that.
Yeah, nah. I applaud, you know, I applaud little bro for sharing with us. Yeah. You know, for sharing content of that nature and of that caliber, you know, with not only with us, but with the listeners, you know, because, and I mean that, you know, I mean that, my nigga, like, you know, from my heart, like, I mean that because, you know, we talked about this though. We've talked about this. We're like, you know, you've even talked about talking to me, talking with my son, you know what I'm saying? And things of that nature about just certain shit that y'all can relate to, you know, from just like, you know, the tragic shit that y'all have been through. And I'm sure that it's going to be listeners, you know, that could like listen to you come straight forward like this, you know, like Wally said, in a safe space with like family and say, yo, listen, this is the realest shit, because the realest shit, you know, and on all levels, on a lot of shit that we talk about, the realest shit is the shit that don't get talked about. That's why Dev said it on a different episode, like, yo, we do that here. We touch that shit, you know.
And listen, I'm going to say this too. I just told y'all about like me, like reliving that moment. That's PTSD, bro. Yeah. That's something that a lot of people, we don't look at it like that for what it is. And I haven't been clinically diagnosed or anything like that, but I know better. I read enough to know like what that is.
It.
And it was just one of the moments, bro, that was scary. And I could see myself going through that. I don't know what else can trigger that to relive that moment again. I have no clue.
No, it has to be the scariest moment because I lived with that fear when my mom was getting her ribs broken and head bust through walls and everything like that within, you know, my household, and it seemed like there was nothing that could be done in that situation with the person. And I had that fear, and for you to obviously have to live the full, you know, circle situation of that, bro, is like, you know, I couldn't even say I understand what you felt in that situation, you know.
And I'm sure that, like, you know, just from like how life's supposed to be and how things supposed to go, as far as like whatever God say, or, you know, positive vibe, universe vibes, whatever. I know that things like that, when tragic situations occur like that in our life and we get dealt cards like that and things like that take place, that's not like what's supposed to happen. That's not the plan. That wasn't the plan. You know what I'm saying? But yet here in you moving forward out of this, I just feel like it's something in there with you. You know what I'm saying? It's something in there with you, like, the, you know, where God still got a plan for you, because there's a lot of people that go through stuff like this. And that's why I just feel like, you know, I really tip my head off to you.
I just got an angel, bro. That's it.
Absolutely.
I've been in many situations that I can't figure out how it worked out the way it worked out. And it's always like that. Always. No matter what, for some reason, I can fall, but it'll never be on my face. It'll never be on my face. And when I'm up, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can feel it more than ever now. Just on some spiritual shit. Like, I see it, I feel it. You know, I'm embracing it. So I'm just trying to work through this.
Talk about that. This is my first time ever. I never knew your family situation. So the fact that you're able to talk about it, the way you're even addressing it, it just helps with other people that are going through the same thing and don't even know how to have that conversation. And for you to be out here and be strong enough to even speak on it on a show, on a platform like this, just says so much about the strength that you have within yourself.
Because there's other people that experience these situations, bro. There's other people, you know what I mean? You wouldn't know from Garnett's demeanor, you know what I mean, how he plays around. The first time he ever talked to me about that, I got mad at him. I got mad at him.
You wasn't the first, though.
Nah, I got mad at him. I was like, bro, don't play around with shit like that. Like, he said something like that, and because I know him as joking in my mom's situation in the crib that I came from, I literally got offended by it. Like, yo, don't do that shit. And then when he explained, like, when I saw that it was a real thing, it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you love somebody, this is my motherfucking family, and you have to, you know, hear stuff like that, and there's nothing you could do about that situation, man. That shit, like, I have to concentrate, no matter how much I've heard about this or I know about it. When I see him like that, I have to watch how I breathe, man. You know what I'm saying? To hold myself together as a man. I got a show to conduct and shit like that, and it's like, the shit is unbelievable. And for the person that he turned out to be, you know what I'm saying, out of all of that, you know what I'm saying, is the person that he turned out to be, that I'm proud of him and everything, because some people could have used his situation as an excuse to go all the way.
No, but that's not. That's a lot of kids.
Yes.
That's a lot of kids. That's part of the main, that's one of the main issues in our community, in our type of demographic as far as inner cities. We're coming from repetitive revolving doors of broken homes.
And PTSD, and that's something he acknowledged. PTSD, that's something that kids those age suffer from.
And look, a parent missing out the household, especially the man, right?
Yes.
Normally lies in the child going astray, and the child either landing in prison, landing in the streets, and things of that nature. So for bro to like be able to like be a vessel for other people, you know, through his trials and tribulations, and you know, because he's courageous enough and willing to come out and say, listen, this is what it is. This is the most craziest thing for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, again, man, like
and it's crazy because I had no clue that he was going to talk about that today. You know what I mean? We telling stories of things that happened, you know, usually
Nigga, that's why I kept taking that shit off the list.
No, you caught me off guard.
No. I didn't think we was talking about, I did no clue that we was talking about that at all today. And so, you know, I want to continue and have that, but you know, so as a show host, I try to figure out ways to connect things together so that when we move to different subjects or continue on with a subject, it flows together. That I was not expecting, you know what I'm saying, from my brother to talk about that. But Richie started talking about, you know, when we talked about he could have used that as an excuse to go certain ways. Certain people in our environments use certain things as an excuse for why they in the streets, they doing this and doing that. And in one of my scariest situations, if a person knows me, they know that I'm not really afraid of dangerous situations. And that comes from probably a lot of, I don't know what to call it. I hate to say this about myself, but you know, there's a lot of mental illness out there. My family, you know what I'm saying, suffers from it. A lot of my moms and uncles are on medication. You know what I'm saying? I grew up almost like I don't care if I die type of situation. So when I find myself in violent situations and things like that, I don't feel nothing. I actually get a little bit of a rush from like, let's get busy. And a situation happened where people who did use the excuses of our environments and things that they go through that decided to be street dudes and everything like that, you know, came into my studio, to this studio where we're sitting at right now, to rob this place. And, you know, because there was, I think this is 2012, we had like our high Camden murders, you know what I'm saying, murders that year. And we had like a murder every day that week. And and most of them was broad daylight. There was, so it was a murder every day of the week, broad daylight shootings. Here it is Saturday, you know. So Saturday, I'm in here chilling with my friends. I mean, I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all because it's like the shit's old now, so it is what it is. I come into the studio, I go downstairs, I go into somebody that had a room leased for me, and I saw something that was in his room that didn't need to be in there, and I barked on him about it. Don't bring this shit in the studio. Why do you got this shit here? He was real relaxed about it. Y'all could put together with it. Yo, he was real relaxed about it. Like, nah, man, I'm gonna be straight now. I just got this working. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, man, get that shit the fuck out of here. We started off this podcast talking about farts and taking shits and shit like that. I went to go take a shit. While the time that I was doing that, a transaction took place. And in that I didn't know nothing about it. When I get out, I remember like getting out and everybody was in the room laughing and they was like, yo, you got to watch this thing. Yo, what's this puppet named Peanut Live 215? You ever saw that? Yeah. So I go in there. I go in there and I'm watching Peanut Live. Shout out to T-Dot. T-Dot was on Peanut Live 215. So everybody in Jersey was like, you got to watch this shit. I'm in here. Look, see, there go that alarm. So I'm in there laughing my ass off and things like that. And And like literally tears in my eyes from watching this fucking puppet talk like a Philly nigga. And then there's a knock on the door. We all asking, oh, who got somebody at the door? And everybody's like, no, I don't got no appointment. This is an appointment only place. So when I go to the door, you know what I'm saying? I'm asking who, I go upstairs, I'm asking who it is. They're saying, they're talking, but I can't understand them. I open up the door and they like, yeah, we looking for such and such with the joints. So my man comes upstairs. I'm mad as hell. He talking to them like, damn, you gotta tell me when you coming through. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, somebody sent you over here like he told. So the people come into the studio. He do whatever he do with them, show them something. And then his man says, yo, what you want to do? And my man stand up and just pull the pistol out. So now they like right here where we at. I'm like, this some bullshit. He pulled a pistol out and he like, yo, lay down.
To you.
Both of us lay down and it's distance. So I'm like, I can't even try to hit him or nothing because we too far apart.
Right.
So when my man got his hands up and try to lay down, I walk away to this hallway that you see behind Garnett Briscoe. That hallway you see right there behind Garnett Briscoe's head. I start walking down there with my hands up and the dude follows behind me like, yo, I said, get on the ground, nigga. Pushes me down to the ground. I lay down there and the whole time I run my mouth. I'm running my mouth the whole time talking because I'm thinking the whole time like, nah, niggas not gonna do this with me. 5 niggas got killed this week. I ain't getting killed. So I'm talking and shit like that and I tell him, look, man, I got a phone in my one pocket. I got a knife in my other pocket. I'm just letting y'all know so I ain't on no slick shit. So my man goes into my pocket, he take the knife out, he take the other joint out, then he push the joint up in my face like real crazy. And he like, what you think, I'm not gonna kill you, nigga? And he laughing and he cocked the joint and the bullet come out the top so he could show like it's all the way to the top. You feel what I'm saying? The joint already in there. So he said, listen, I need you to take me to the money. If you move, I'ma shoot you. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna move, man. I'm gonna take you to what you gotta do, man. Let's just get this smooth. Now, meanwhile, mind you, I got Dominican Jeff in here. Shout out to Dominican Jeff. I got motherfucking Don Michael Jr. in there, downstairs making beats. And the reason why I say it was so scary is because I'm not worried about me. I got friends, customers downstairs, people that don't know what the fuck is going on. There's music banging down there. People being creative, doing what they doing. So they don't have no idea what's going on. You feel what I'm saying? Now, mind you, when I lay down, in that hallway, I can see down the steps. I see Dominican Jeff on the phone just walking back and forth talking. You know what I'm saying? I see niggas down there. And at a certain point, the bull grabs me by the collar and he lifts me up. And as soon as he lifts me up, I already know what I'm doing in that little joint. I move. Sure enough, he busts the first shot off. Boom. That shot goes behind me and hits like right where that, like around where that, box is behind them. So next to the Transformers, you know what I'm saying? Bang. Then we start fighting over the joint. But now we in that little ass hallway, so his other man he don't know what to do, because what he gonna do?
He had a joint too?
I don't even know what he got. I'm so focused on where I'm at.
Right.
I'm just in there holding on to the joint, and I'll only take one hand off to hit him. And then I'll go back to that. So we rocking over the joint, his man trying to figure out how to get in, because sometimes his man, like I'm down trying to push the joint to the ground, and while we fighting over the gun, is cocking over and over again, so the bullets keep coming out the top of the joint. So then when the other boy is like, well, like run up kind of, because it's all over the place. He'll run up and like kick me, you know what I'm saying? Then run back. So finally I got that arm over the shoulder and went to like throw him. So he had to go with it. And when he went, you know, if he holding the joint like this, the gun come with me. Now I got that joint, but I'm like full momentum forward that way. So as soon as I get that joint, I turn around, I start shooting. Boom, this way. They running out this door right here. Now this door actually had an issue with it where you turn the knob and it won't open. Never on the first try. You be sitting there fumbling with it. So, and I'm thinking about all this. This is the reason why I asked about the slow motion part with your, you know, with your situation. You know what I'm saying? Because you be seeing all of that shit in slow motion where I'm thinking they dead. Because they not going to get through that door.
You already see the result.
I already see it. It's a wrap. And I'm shooting, and that door opened right up. And they run right out. I run to the top of these steps because I'm not thinking. Like, it's broad daylight. People riding down 130. They can see me. I'm right on the steps shooting. Bang, bang. Now, I realize what the fuck is going on. I come back in the studio. I don't remember 1 minute I was watching Peanut Live 215. I was taking a shit.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I was taking a shit. I'm watching Peanut Live 215, nigga.
Now you got a gun in your hand. You don't know where it came from. Hand.
I'm not a street nigga. I never sold a drug in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm in this goofy ass situation. You know what I'm saying? Out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Out of nowhere. And I don't understand what's going on because downstairs, you know what I'm saying? The music is off now. My mans that was laid down right behind me ain't there no more. You know what I'm saying? That was up here with me. I'm confused. I look at the ground. There's bullets all over the ground. So I'm like,
it ain't even sure if shit let off or not at that time.
I'm confused because the bullets ain't the casings. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole joint. So I think one of the bulls, he had like cargo shorts on. He had his cargo shorts like full of bullets. Because it's while we fighting, it's like all these extra bullets all over the floor.
Wow.
So I start picking up the bullets off the floor and filling the clip back up before I go downstairs because I'm thinking it's niggas downstairs. So I'm going downstairs. You remember that downstairs used to be dark down there and all that type of shit? I go down that motherfucker and I'm like coming around the corners looking and I go to the room where that shit was at and I go to the door. And when I go to the door, it's locked. So I'm like, the niggas is in there. So I punch a hole. It's like that cheap ass wood door that you could get from, for $25, $30, whatever. I punch a hole in the door. And then
Hold on. Who the fuck did you think you was punching a hole through a door?
It's a cheap ass door, bro. It's like one of them cheap ass brown doors, and everybody.
Sound like a movie.
He had fight or flight strength.
This motherfucker.
It's like a
wow.
So look, I punch through the door, right? Boom. I look in there. And I'm like trying to look through the door and I'm like, yo, come out. And nobody's saying nothing. I don't see nobody in there. So then when I turn around, I walk over to the main part of the studio and it's a pool table. And my nigga, should I shout him out? All right, so look. So my homie is at the table and he's just sitting at the pool table with his head down.
He went to sleep.
And I'm like, yo. And he look up and he like, you had a strap dog? And I'm like, nah, nigga, this one of theirs. He like, yo. So what basically happened was he said when the music was playing and he was laid down behind my feet, when he was laid down, he said when that shot went off, that first one when Bull shot the joint, he thought they killed me. He said his legs went numb, that he just thought he was going to die. He just went numb and he just zoned out. He said then after a while, he heard shots and he felt feet stepping on him. So when we ran this way, we was stepping on his body. I don't even remember stepping on him. Then he ran, fell down the steps because he trying to run too fast. This nigga's knees was all scraped up, bloody as hell, right? He said he was hiding in the bathroom and then he was like, I ain't want to die hiding in the bathroom, so I just came out. Once he saw like a nigga was walking around in the joint, that's why he sat at the pool table. He just sat there with his head down. So now we go to that other door. Yo, Siri be swearing you talking to her.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Listen.
That's
so
crazy.
now I go back to that door. And I'm like, yo, come out. And he like, Dev. So I can say who this is. Shout out JB, Prince of the Piff.
That's my dog right there, too.
JB, what up? JB pushed the couch up against the door. He ran in that room, locked it. When he heard shots blowing off, he locked himself in that room and pushed the
This was the door you punched a hole in.
The door I punched a hole in, but I punched a hole in and it was just, I couldn't get in the door.
Right.
He pushed the couch up and he locked the door and pushed the couch up and under there and it was underneath the couch. So it was just funny as hell seeing that nigga like peek up behind the couch. He like, damn, I'm like, yeah. He like, what the fuck going on? You know what I'm saying? So what's crazy is what happened was when I was fighting with the niggas in the hallway, my man Dominican Jeff came up the steps to smoke a bogey. And when he said he was looking down, looking at his phone, And when he looked up, the pistol swung by his face. He seen me fighting with 2 niggas and was like, and ran down the steps. Ran to go tell Don, like, yo, Dev upstairs fighting with 2 niggas with pistols. Don think he playing, trying to shut the door on him. He think he joking. So when he's doing all that, he like, nah, I'm trying to tell you whatever. Then they heard the shots start going off. Boom, boom, boom. And they had to run out the stew. But you got to imagine when you in the stew and you don't know what to do.
They went out Don's way.
Yeah.
I heard about it. I remember when this happened. I heard about it. Everybody was talking about that shit.
Yeah, nuts. The whole everybody knew. And
this was before I knew you. I didn't hear anything about it until I actually got to know y'all.
Yeah. But it was the scariest moment of my life because then even when police showed up, they did not want to hear, yo, you fought and took that gun. They was like, is this your pistol? And then the worst part is, remember, I picked the bullets up off the ground. So now my fingerprints is all on the Johns inside the gun, yo. That shit was whack. You know what I'm saying?
You was scared.
I was scared because of like all types of shit. Like, damn, man, this shit is in here. You know what I mean? I'm trying to buy time. I made my man flush everything down the top. Like, it was crazy. I had to talk to
It was the same scenario. It turned from you about to damn near get killed to you now dealing with what you got, a case?
Yeah, it's
guns.
like, yeah.
Now you gotta suffer the consequences of some shit that didn't really have nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do.
You defending yourself.
Yeah, that shit was super whack. But what I will say is this was dope. My boy, his mom was just like, oh my God, you know what I mean? You saved my son's life, blah, 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 was the case. It was one day, you know, this on a lighter note, I was trying to get some cheeks, right? You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get...
From his mom?
From your boy mom?
No, not from...
Great question, Chelsea.
No,
That's
it wasn't
awesome
from his
question.
But it did
You know,
sound
we
like...
got scenarios where moms...
You was just talking about his mom, though, and went right into that. So
Yeah, it was a
sounded
joint that I felt like I had no
That was
shot
misleading.
I had no shot in life where she called me up out of the blue, just one of them out of the blue. You know, y'all call niggas out the blue sometimes.
No, we don't, but
yes,
go ahead.
listen, Chelsea, just y'all call a nigga out the blue, and this is his one shot in the dark to respond or make something happen. You was feeling it that night, whatever. So, and I was fucked up broke. I was fucked up broke. And I remember calling my man like, yo, you won't believe who called me. This shorty. He like, what? I'm like, man, I'm broke as hell. I can't even go over there, da-da-da-da-da. He like, yo, my mom got you a motherfucking like $500 gift card.
That's hilarious.
Gift card for Christmas that you ain't never come over here and get. It said for saving my son's life. So his mom got me over there with them yumpies. Yeah.
You basically got fucking a gift card and took
You got
her out.
$500 for saving lives and shit. Like that's what you spent all of it
some
on.
yams.
I was just fucked down where I couldn't go over there and go kick it and shit like that. You know how like a nigga, you're not gonna go somewhere with like minimal funds.
It
and you
came
don't know
around
what
full
could,
circle
you don't
for
know
you.
what could pop off. You know what I'm saying?
That
Wow.
Came around full circle.
Yeah.
What?
That was a blessing.
What did niggas think they was like coming to the studio to get?
What you nigga? Work, nigga. It was work in here, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, Porter.
Yeah, Porter.
No, you should be the first.
No. I
gotta-
almost forgot that the guy was in
So
here
you
doing
got to
the bullshit.
remember when Porter in the beginning of this, when Porter was farting, he was smoking at the same
His
time.
brain cells get a little fucked up.
No. I did forget that part that the guy was doing a little bullshit in here. But even then, because I just feel like niggas do stupid shit all the time. Niggas rob the wrong shit and just the most backwards shit.
I mean, just the whole
the
whole idea of it was the whole situation was just an evil situation from the beginning because you see how motherfuckers move over some dollar shit. And that was really just based off of a nigga coming in that he did fuck with, right? And him leaving and you know, putting themselves in man, like, yo, if you need something, my man got it. You know what I'm saying? And them being just like, oh, where? Oh.
It always
we
happens
gonna go,
like
yeah,
that.
we that's not our man. We going like this. You know what I'm saying? And that's
I
just
hate
one of those
niggas
things.
like
That's
that.
no, it's crazy. It's crazy and it's wild because you wonder at those time periods where it's like maybe these motherfuckers is just on this time or maybe at this moment they look at me like I'm a nigga that trap. But at the end of the day, I'm a nigga that take pictures.
So many people are willing to like take a life or be in that situation for like measly money, for like $500, $600, $1,000, $2,000. That money is not worth a life in any situation because that money nowadays can't really buy nothing.
I don't think that their intention was to kill though. You think it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a gun full of bullets.
Not because there are situations where guys have guns but their intention ain't to kill. It's just to kind of like show.
Niggas was on some shit because also niggas do whatever they could get away with. Right. So if you in a situation where it's like I'm inside this studio, it's more like you came in a certain situation where it's like, who gonna know? I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta get out this bitch. I know there's other motherfuckers in here. How you gonna really get all of that off? You know what I'm saying?
That's the reason I'll say, if anything, they at least had to have the mindset going in where they're willing, because you're going into a situation in the building where you don't know you don't even know the layout.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't
in
know
there
who's
and like I said, my man said, if you do this, I'm a bang. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened.
Which brings me to my more recent statement that lately I've been seeing a lot of businesses, small businesses, whether they be little convenience stores, because this is a business. This is a business here. This is SFX Studios. So I've been, and this is just to throw this out there for like people that try this, like these little goofy movements. I've been seeing a lot of businesses owners like busting niggas' ass.
Oh, like, absolutely.
Like putting that iron to these niggas. Like, I iron you the fuck out. We pay the lawyers later. We'll figure it out. But we gonna iron you the fuck out. Facts. Right? So I just say that to say that people need to be careful who business or who place you go in.
Absolutely.
Because I know for a fact, like, you come in my shit, you might as well lock the door behind you, nigga. You ain't getting the fuck out. I promise you ain't getting out. Like, niggas is out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Even then and even now. Yeah. Like, that's why you got to play chess with motherfuckers, man.
And that was the crazy part, is that was my mindset. Like, for me, it was just like, nah, nigga, I'm definitely not trying to be, I'm not going to be one of them niggas that's sitting there talking, begging for their life when they get popped and all of that. Nah, because in my opinion, if a person, and I don't recommend this for nobody. I'm talking about me. I don't bother nobody. I ain't in the street. I don't do none of that. If a person introduced a gun situation in my life and where I was at in my life, it was like, that's ours. Once you bring that joint out, it's not just your gun, bro. It's me and your gun. So it's like, it's going to be now it's crazy to watch the look in a person's face though go from so menacing and evil, and you gonna die, nigga, to now you
changed the game.
Now you got a different. I'm not on no tough shit. I'm on some concentration shit. And I see your face, and you like, cause it's not happening the way that you planned it out.
And what a lot of people like, I'm gonna pop your ass because you tried to get me.
And what a lot of people don't understand, because a lot of people probably listening to this like, oh no, Dev is on some movie shit. This shit sounds like
some regular shit.
But and the reason how I know this is because I was in like the same scenario where like a nigga reached for the pistol on me, said some crazy shit. We was arguing and he went for the pistol. At that moment, I felt how you felt. Like, my life is in your hands. Something got to give, because I don't have a promissory note of what you going to do.
Right.
Of how you plan to end this.
Right.
So instantly, you go into motherfucking survival mode. You understand what I'm telling you? Like, you go into that motherfucking mode. I've been in, like, the same situation, bro, where, like, thank God, I was able to, like, take the pistol, get the pistol, and reverse the shit and put, like, a nigga in, like, a chokehold. And was, like, on my block. My whole block came out. I had the nigga foaming out his mouth. The whole block, like, you gonna kill him. And I'm like, why y'all worried about him?
I know what you mean at that moment.
At that moment, and even sometimes looking in hindsight, like if you look back, like if a motherfucker threatening my life and I do something to protect myself, you shouldn't have a motherfucking thing to say to me, man. You shouldn't have nothing to say to me other than it's fucked up. Yeah. But you did what you had to do.
It's crazy because in Jersey, we got such the craziest laws when it come to like firearms and things like that, man.
Self-defense.
That self-defense, you got to understand. That shit hit the nigga in the back of the head right here, we probably wouldn't be doing this.
We definitely wouldn't.
You feel what I'm saying? That shit would have just turned out Dev did some nut shit, and then and people would have put together whatever story they wanted to be, and that would have been it. Dev did some nut shit. This is what happened. He had a burner. He did. It'd have been a rap. And really, I was I just finished a photo shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like I was on some regular shit.
I was just
like,
saying, like
crazy.
These are everything that we describe and are all traumatic moments, man. Like defining moments. Like it's a marker. Like if your life is a book, it's a page marker there. Like these are moments that like molded us into who we are, or like who we're going to become. Like so. Yeah.
Yeah, we going. Yeah, we might have a part 2, man. Because I
didn't tell mine.
Oh yeah, no. We about to. But I'm just saying that we going to probably have a part 2 to this because
we all have more than one.
There's so
moment.
many. Yeah, man, I didn't have my girl kidnapped, all types of shit. Like you know what I'm saying. Like I had to do a lot of things in my life that people who are a part of this circle and understand, and people that branch out that was part of that story understand. Like nah, nigga. It's real out here for everybody, not just people that play in the streets, because everything's so overlapped that sometimes you just end up in shit. And if you got a non-back down attitude, you like, well, I guess I'm in that too. You know what I'm saying? But no, we definitely want to go out with Chelsea Lee, letting us know the scariest moment of her life.
Let's get it.
So my sister was 5. For me, I was 10. Right, and in 2000, the year 2000, our mother was pregnant with my our little brother Colin. Let's just say, like I think the night before, or maybe 2 nights before, I was like riding my bike to 7-Eleven because I wanted to be grown and go get some tasty cakes. I love butterscotch crimpets. I was like, Mom, I want to go get some crimpets on the bike. Like I'm grown. Like let me go get my crimpets. So got my crimpets on my bike. Came back, and we live like kind of where the street goes like down a hill. So I'm coming back. I don't know what happened. Slam on the brakes. I was going too fast because if you don't like slow, you can go really fast. And I weigh like probably 80 pounds at the time. Slam on the brakes. I flip over the bike, bust my elbows open, mess my face up, bleeding everywhere. Probably all dramatic. I don't know. But the neighbor who also had kids that were a little bit younger than me had like picked me up and like made sure I got home and dropped me off. And my mom was like 8 months pregnant at the time. And he was like, oh, Chelsea fell on the bike. And I was like all like bloody and my elbows was messed up. My mom, when I had to go to school the next day or two, she tried to put these, I don't know if y'all remember those clear tattoo Band-Aids. It was terrible. It was like a tie-dye. It was supposed to be your skin. And I didn't want to go to school because I didn't want to be all seen like that, face all scratched up. So the day that I was supposed to get up, I missed a bus on purpose. I was like, I don't want to go to school. I missed a bus. And maybe my mom will say I don't have to go because she used to be cool like that, like sometimes. For me. So
sitting through in a for you.
Right. You was 5.
And mom's still the coolest for the record.
Yeah.
Mom cool as shit,
man. So I missed a bus and my mom usually would be up in the morning yelling, get up, blah, blah, like get ready. So she was in the living room, like I guess cleaning up, and I went in the kitchen or something, another room, and I didn't hear her call me, and I was like playing around with something or whatever I was doing, and it was like late. I was like, I'm late for school. So I come in the living room to see like why is she not yelling for me, and she's on the couch just kind of like in a daze. And our mom also is a practical joker, so she would do a lot of things and scare us She would be in the mall and hide behind something and watch us freak out and start calling mom. Like she would do like little terroristic, crazy things like that. So she's laying on the couch kind of like dazed out. And I'm like, Mom, come on. I know I got to go to school, like whatever. And she's just like, And I'm like, she was like foaming. I'm like, come on, let's go. And she started drooling. And I'm like, Mom, let's go. And at the time, you know, you're 10 years old. You know that's not labor pains because, you know, growing up, labor pains is woman yelling, screaming, whatever. And she was like just kind of stiff. So I was like, do you want to go to the hospital? And she couldn't answer. She couldn't respond. So I ran in the kitchen and I put on a piece of paper 911 because I felt like she couldn't speak. So I held it up and I was like 911, 911. And she was just kind of like, it was like no more response. It was just like drool and kind of just like out of it. Like there was no yes or no, but I felt like she wanted to say something like in her eyes. So my dad had already left for work and my sister was there. So I called 911 before I called my dad. I called 911. I'm like, I was like crying. I was like, my mom's not responding. she's 8 months pregnant, and they have the tape recorded. We was on like every news channel. I said, my mom is not responding. Like, I don't know what to do. And they're like, is she, how many months pregnant? And she was asking me all this stuff. And I said, I don't know. Like, she's big. She's real big. And they said, is she like going into labor? I said, she can't talk. I don't know what's going on. And at 10 years old, I didn't even know what a stroke was until after that had happened. I never knew what a stroke, like heart attack. You don't learn these symptoms or anything until like you get older and you actually have to like be aware of these things. So I don't know, for some reason I had to go in the kitchen to get something or go get my dad's number from work so I can call him and tell him like 911's coming. And my sister went in the room not knowing, and she like picked up the phone for like 911 and like hung up on them. And I ran back in the room and I'm like, 911's coming, 911's coming. And they ended up like coming. Long story short, you know, they rushed to the hospital and she had a stroke.
Literally before I even hung up the phone, it was like already like 5 to 10 cops on the on our front lawn. They were all just standing there like,
gotta be closer.
Sorry. They were all like just standing there like leaning towards the house. Is this close enough?
Listen.
There you go.
Yes. Thanks, Head to the mic.
Yeah, all the cops, they were like standing on the front yard, and next thing you know, they're like, my dad just gets there. They run everybody out of the house. And I just remember going to the hospital later on, and my mom like trying to talk to me, and I was only 5, so I was so afraid of her that like
she was scared. If you see like a loved one like in a position,
that's scary,
where you're like they don't look how they normally look, and they can't talk, and they're like kind of like a vegetable, or like you don't know what's going to happen, and you're really young. That is super duper traumatizing because you don't recognize that person, and you're just like, what can I say? Like, she couldn't talk. They was like, she's not going to be able to walk. She's not going to be able to drive. You know, she's not going to be able to do this and that. And as a kid, you're just like, I just want my mom. Like, I don't know what happened. We ended up staying with my grandmother like for the year and X, Y, and Z. But she's better now. But that was like one of the scariest moments of my life because at 10 years old, you fight or flight. And they say like, if you didn't call 911 in that certain time, she probably would have, you know, not made it. And then my brother probably wouldn't have made, who knows? I don't know. But I just went into like, something's wrong and I don't know what's wrong. And quick thinking, I was able to call 911 and get somebody there. But that was like the scariest moment because there was really like where she was not responding. And I'm like, maybe something really bad happened. Because at 10 years old, all you could do was use your imagination.
Yeah, right.
And you think of the worst.
Shit,
because I really realized she wasn't joking.
No, and it's a real situation. You was in a real situation.
And even if you older, Chelsea, I just feel like you still gonna be scared because we not no fucking doctors. So you sitting there gonna be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
I'll never get used to my girl that I'm with now, my baby. She has epileptic seizures. I will never get used to it. I'm afraid every time. You feel what I'm saying? Because this is your this is your everything. You feel what I'm saying? This is your everything. And you don't have no control of what's going on. You got to kind of just go through that with them. You know what I'm saying? They don't even go through that. They're not there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that shit is scary. Whether you're a kid, it could be scarier as an adult because you understand mortality more. Right. As a kid, you might not really understand a person not being there with you no more. You know what I'm saying? But as an adult, that's some scary
and not being
shit.
able to like act or do anything.
Nah, that is. Yeah. You kind of like threw me for a loop, just like the way you just kind of like told the story, and I was like, damn, like, you know, because you, like you said, you mentioned her playing and joking like that in the past, where you possibly could have thought like mom was just trying to scare y'all again, you know, on some other shit.
She did that all the time, so it was just like, eh.
Right.
I had
like, stop playing, Mom.
I had a classmate that passed, man, and he was a jokester. You know what I'm saying? He was a jokester that, you know, played around. You know what I'm saying? And we was young. We was in like 9th grade and playing basketball. Dropped. You know what I'm saying? And coach thought he was like fucking around, like kicking him and everything. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Stop playing, Rasha. Get up. Get up, man. You play. Nah. It was real. You know what I'm saying? That was like, and for kids, you know, you think all the kids you go to school with, man, y'all gonna be there forever. You know what I'm saying? Especially barring the street shit. Obviously, we had, you know, such shit like that happen. But like on some natural causes, on some heart issues and shit like that, man, that shit like blew our motherfucking minds. Like we couldn't believe. Just something like that.
That shit
man.
crazy.
But yo, man, listen, we about to get out of here, man. We thank everybody for tuning in and fucking with us, man. We appreciate everybody that watches our show. Hey, man, sometimes this show not gonna be so heavy on the comedy, man, because we are silly people. We come in here and we just talk. We like to fuck around and get loose, but sometimes the conversation, just like, this is real life. Sometimes the conversation goes places that's more.
And not only are we funny people, but we are also some of the realest people that are behind these mics and behind these cameras now that we are behind these mics and behind these cameras. And that's just a port of fact.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about whatever. And, on that note, man, we're not even going to go out our traditional way, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we fuck with y'all. Everybody that's in, make sure y'all go like, subscribe, tell somebody, tell a friend about the podcast. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, man, we interactive. You could tell us what you want us to talk about. You know what I mean? We got subjects for days, but we just fuck with it. You see, we be in the group chat talking to y'all right now as I'm saying this, man. So,
yeah.
We appreciate y'all, for myself, for the Nasty Girls, for Chelsea Lee, for motherfucking Waleska D, for Porter Rich, and for Garnett Briscoe. And I want a special thank Garnett Briscoe for sharing that today, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely.
I love you, man.
Heavy.
And
Love you. Absolutely.
And on that note, man, this has been the Devinwade Show, man. We out.